And welcome to Java. Thank you kindly for joining me. It's February 6th, 2025. It is Thursday. Thanks to everyone that showed up in the Discord chat last night. We covered a lot of things, and I just want to thank everyone that was there. Want to start working on the Substack a little bit more. There's quite a few people in there. So, with all of this, let's get started. There is a lot to cover. The MMRI, our favorite risk indicator, as far as we're starting with the markets, is below 300, still in the high territory, but it's out of that extreme. However, I don't feel that we are out of that extreme area as far as risk is concerned. And I'll talk a little bit about why. Now we've got fear greed meter is headed back into the fear territory. So this is our daily driver, fear and hesitation in the retail sector. Now, most of the professionals, as you would say, professional traders, or as far as the smart money has headed out the door already. There are quite a few retailers still in here, and we're watching this wavering going on. Now, we've got jobs and employment still on deck. We'll talk about the calendar, the important one coming out Friday. But we've got what's going on. The Bank of England wants to cut rates again for the third time. And as well in Europe, we've got factory orders in Germany on the good side surging 6.9%. So, do they have a chance of pulling out? Well, we don't know. This is the first time in over 3 months that anything positive has come out of that sector. So, our 10-year yield today is 4.442, still below 4.5. It is fluctuating a bit. The interesting thing to note, the bond rates or the debt rates globally across all the markets are fluctuating significantly. They're all dropping, and a lot of this is speaking of major manipulation or serious underlying weakness. So, with this, a lot of fear going into that side. We've still got the relative strength of the dollar just below 108. As I was saying, it came down from yesterday. So this should give a little bit of relief, not just to the markets, but also other currencies. We've got the Asian market as well as the European one, both kind of holding in there. As you can see, they open up the markets right now in the green. Gold retracing a little bit. We spoke about this last night, that it's heading into a slight bit of resistance. So pulling back here a little bit before it kind of marches on. We've got oil in the green. This is on some Middle Eastern tension, as well as the trade wars and demand still staying level, expecting that to drop along with the kind of recessionary fears coming in. Now, the futures are saying there's a little bit of headwinds today, not looking strong, and then heading into the reports prior to market open tomorrow. So, brief word on cryptocurrencies. They're strong this morning, although still below the 100,000 level for Bitcoin. So, kind of chopping around in a range right now. Not really weak, but not showing strength either. So, with this, the volatile start to the year, this is according to Bloomberg, has spooked some professional investors, but has done little to douse retail traders' enthusiasm for the US stock market and this is so-called Mag 7 companies. Now, this is still a buy the dip mentality. The question did come across whether there were still retail traders in the markets, which there apparently are. However, they're the last to get out the door. And you really, really don't want to be in that group while these things are happening. So I am kind of pretty much out of this market, few short trades, but also hedged. So I'm urging caution on this. These futures not looking very good, um, not strong enough to be contrarian yet. However, it's kind of verging on this teeter totter here. So just a little caution with that. So in the calendar, we're getting jobless claims prior to the market open this morning. This video should be out prior to that, so you can set it trades up if you trade pre-market. We're getting Fed governor speaking again. So they're using the Fed speakers to manage what's going on. Friday, this is the big one. because they came out with the jobs number saying that it's looking good with the ADP reports coming out. We'll see how the unemployment is, or at least we'll see how they report it. They do, how do you say, fudge the numbers, if you will. Now, the story is about stocks gaining as the new Treasury head is saying that the focus is lower yields. So they're kind of got a lot of chatter going on between the Fed that they don't want to cut rates, but they want yields to go lower. Well, a lot of yields go lower when there is recession going on. So you got to be careful about what you're asking for in this, in my opinion. Now, with these lower yields, we've been watching the dollar act as a wrecking ball to a lot of the others, and that is creating massive amounts of distortion going on. So, a couple of words on some specific stocks. Now, we've got earnings up here. This is Thursday prior to the market open after close today, as well as Friday prior to the market open. If you're trading any of these or looking to trade earnings on these, I don't, they're quite volatile unless you're doing like options triangles maybe or something. So a word on MicroStrategy. If you're not familiar with that company, it is Michael Saylor. They purchase large amounts of Bitcoin. So they've changed their name and chosen to go with just strategy. So now instead of MSTR for the ticker, they are starting today. STRK is now what they're trading under. Now we've got a lot of geopolitical things going on. In particular, United States governor has been well known, but we've got Doge aides searching now into Medicare. They're in two sectors now, largely. They've kind of gone through the CIA, several other agencies, USAID. Now they are in Medicare as well as the VA. So they've got someone on site looking through their services and payment systems looking for fraud. So large stories there. Federal Reserve exposed for being an active part of cryptocurrency debanking. So that's pretty interesting since they are looking towards putting everybody on cryptocurrencies, but on their systems. That's the critical difference, is that they do want that control. So they're putting out their systems, whether they call it CBDC or not, doesn't matter. That's really what it is. So they're calling it the Musk buyout, but really what this is was the deal that was floated out. 40,000 federal workers have taken this. They're estimating this is just under 2% of the federal section of that workforce. The deadline is the end of today, that they can take the buyout to where they don't have to work, and they will get that severance package where they're getting paid until September. So that's another thing we had brought up, is how this is going to affect the jobs market when that time comes around. So in light of all of these things happening, the CFO of the Office of Personnel Management, this is the chief HR agency for the federal government, resigning. So you've got the head of hiring is just kind of hit the road. So we've also got thousands of VA employees must return to their offices full time, and they are about to get audited as well for not just the employment, but also their books. So major shifts with all of this, as promised. We've got a firm CEO. This is one of the most ridiculous things I've heard in a long time, but they're saying that helping staff pack their boxes during layoffs made everyone feel better. That's I don't know how they could even put that in print. However, he's saying that as long as you just help them pack them and kind of send them out the door, that it makes everything good. Now, we've got the European Central Bank. Their wage tracker is pointing to steep slowdown this year, meaning 2025. So that's a little bit of an ominous tell. A lot of signs heading the same direction, if you will, for this correction that they're talking about reorganization on a major level, and it is global. It's European, not just the United States. So a couple of other things. We've got China Commerce Ministry. Now, this is all in the trade wars. Speaking on US tariffs, that they will definitely take the necessary measures against unilateral bullying measures and resolutely defend rights. Now, they're talking about the trade wars, the taxes that are going on, in other words, not purchasing their goods and cutting in on their business. Now, back to the government crackdowns. We've got also Argentina withdrawing from World Health Organization. Now, he put this out on X yesterday, accusing the Global Health Agency mismanaging C-19 pandemic. He had brought out that due to the mismanagement and the rushing of a lot of things that had happened, he's estimating that it killed over 180,000 people there. And I have to probably not say much more than that. But yeah, so they're withdrawing also from that organization. Now, unrelated, we've got OpenAI. This is the ChatGPT. Chief Sam Altman, inking a deal with South Korea again after DeepSeek. Now, this is not coincidence. This partnership, this says, will allow South Korean tech firm to use ChatGPT for its artificial intelligence services. Now, this is the same government and area that trialed CBDC with the full programming as well as geofencing. So you could only spend the cryptocurrency within certain areas with certain merchants, and he's partnering with them. So there's larger stories going on with this. So at this point in time, I just want to mention that there will be a conference on cryptocurrency. It's open this evening if you would like to join in on that, if you've got something that you would like to contribute to that. So moving forward into what we know is going to happen, we've got Binance Pay partnering now with X Money to enhance crypto accessibility for over 20,000 merchants in Europe. So the driving force for a lot of cryptocurrency, and what they say is the holdback, is adoption. So with this adoption, their whole plan is to make this very easy and to make it the go-to. And once they do this, they're going to look more towards shifting everyone over. Very quiet, very smooth. It is happening now. And just this last thing, this is a carrier. It's Iranian. And they just put this out, fresh pictures of this. So they're ramping up their military vessels. They are not what is being put out in the news. They're much stronger and much more developed than what is being put forth for the United States and the Western world in general. So with this, I wish you all a great day. Have a good trading day if you're in this crazy market. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.